Hello and welcome to Gutter Farms. We're back with another episode of UMRV, Upper Mississippi River Valley, and today we're going to try and wrap up a bunch of these spring jobs that we've been in the middle of for quite some time. I think we can get a good amount of progress done on the rest of baling this grass that we've been cutting up for haylage. And then I think we're almost about to start our last field of planting. So I'd really like to get the planting done today. We're going to see how it goes. However, I have done a little bit of off-camera work, mostly in getting our equipment shuffled around so that we don't have to do so much fumbling about on camera. We've got all of our course play courses generated or copied over from previous iterations. And I think we're just getting some stuff started out. I have moved us up into the second week of April here because we were running out of digestate of all things, because I sold so much of it through the winter that we needed a little bit more to finish spreading a slurry on this big field that we're working on over with our other workers. So we'll go check in on that in just a minute. It looks like I've got the rake moving here, which is good news. I've got the baler going. I've already picked up the bales on both of those fields, so we don't need to necessarily do that. Yeah, I think we're good to go over here. Let's jog back over to the BGA and see where we're at with the slurry situation. We've got a full tanker here that we just got done emptying out of one of the animal tanks. Looks like we're moving into these tanks pretty quick. As you can see in this screen here, we have upgraded, does it show up in here or not? We've upgraded how fast it's running. So I've increased the cycles per month so that we can process slurry faster. We were having a hard time keeping up with all of our animal pens now that we got 3 animal pens worth of adult animals. So this is going much faster now. I figured that was an easy enough change. And then I also, while I was in there, updated the speed on the fermenting silo here, the harvest store. So this processes a bit faster now as well, both for making the chaff and grass and stuff into silage. And then I also increased the production a little bit. I've added another TMR line here because we are going to start getting some straw off of the other field, and this is going to alleviate our silage needs just a little bit. So I've come up with a mixture here that should be balanced in game. This would be about 20% straw, 25% hay, and then 55% silage, compared to what we're doing right now, which is 25% hay and 75% silage. So it just gives us that 20% break on the silage. So we'll see how that plays out here. I'm leaving those on so I don't forget to turn them back on later. And as you can see, we've dumped off half of that slurry already, which is great. Means we're keeping up with our animal pens. And just taking a quick look at the animals since we did move the day forward. We're doing pretty good here. Slurry's not too full. Feed's getting a little low. We're at about half on both of those barns, but we've got this barn almost full, and I'll be able to switch him over here. And that's going to be a problem just because we've only got about one more load of TMR. So I need more grass bales in here. I've got some hay loaded up. I did increase the capacity of this as well. We went from 1 million liters of storage to 10 million. And I think that's because mentally I put these other silos in. I gave myself enough room to add some more of them. But it was just such a hassle having these different silos set up on the farm, and AutoDrive wasn't able to get into the second one because I put them too close, and it was just a big hassle. So I think what we're going to do is sell these off here real quick, since I've come to the conclusion that I don't want to leverage them anymore. I'm not sure what we're going to do with this part of the farm just yet. Maybe we'll move the BGA over here and try and get the auto drive courses set up, but these were both empty. We might as well sell them off and just reduce the amount of updates and different things we've got going on the map. We'll figure out what we do with this large area a little bit later. At least we could park some equipment or whatnot there if we run out of space. We are adding a lot of equipment to the farm as we move forward here. And I think what I want to do is take a trip down to check in on our planters next. I had gotten the pickup truck here with the nurse trailer down to the bulk fill point and topped off our liquid fertilizer as well throughout the evening, and that's going to let us keep this equipment moving out in the field. We're planting and using a lot of this liquid fertilizer, a lot more than I anticipated using, but that corn ground is thirsty, that's for sure. So we'll go ahead and just rip down the field here with this guy, or rip down to the field. Man, what is it? Is it field 41 was the one that we set up? I think that's where the 8R is currently going, so we'll send this guy on his way. And just a while he's driving down here, I thought we'd check in on the 8R, and it is indeed out of a seed and getting low on fertilizer. So let's go ahead and see if we can bring the seed tender out here. We'll hold off on driving out here with the nurse trailer until we actually need it. I think we might be able to finish this field with what we've got. I'm not sure. And just looking over here, I see that worker Elizabeth just stopped with an empty tank. I think our slurry spreader's doing the headlands somewhere over on the other side of this field. So we're gonna have to track her down at some point and get that topped off. I do have some digestate in this semi, I'm pretty sure, so she must be over on the other side of that hill somewhere. Get this going. Hopper 2 does still have some seed in it. Good deal. And we've got a lot of this field left to plant, so I'm really looking to make sure we keep these planters moving. We haven't even started the largest field, which is the one we're currently spreading slurry on. So I want to make sure this continues to go. I do have to hop in here and pop the covers open. I'm even going to back it up a few feet just because it always needs to be backed up before we start planting anyway. That way if I forget later on, it's not a big deal. And I think that's going to do it. Yep, the green light comes on. And we should be able to just start him off on the nearest waypoint. No worries whatsoever. Just like that. Keeping all of our equipment moving. Takes a minute for that planter to unfold, unfortunately, but should be back to being productive at any moment here. And I can see our nurse trailer has made it out here. I'm excited. We've got all the supplies necessary. I'm going to just leave the seed tender right here on the edge of the field. I think that should work out good. That should be fine there. We're not going to be coming through on the headlands anymore. I will likely just grab this semi right out of the gate. I know we need to refill. I'm not sure where we need to refill, but since I can't see our slurry spreader anywhere over here, there it is, right on the horizon. I can see it. So we're going to just cut across this field real quick and go catch up with that slurry spreader here. We've been doing some of these jobs for so long now that I forget if it's been 2 or 3 episodes we've been out in this field working on getting this digestate applied, and it just you start to lose track of what's going on with some of these jobs when they go on for so long. So I'm excited that we're finally on to the headland passes, and we should be done soon. I'm going to just, you know what? I'm going to just leave this here, because who knows where we're going to end up and need to refill this next. I believe that leaves me back up here at the farm, needing to grab this semi-trailer and go pick up some bales. Like I said, I've already picked up the bales around the farm, but I do have the baler out in that little field in the corner there going, so we should be able to sneak out there and pick up the rest of those bales and likely get the baler started on the big field that the rake is on, the windrower there. We've got quite a big pile of grass waiting to be picked up already. Done at least 1 pass around on the headlands. Looks like a worker is on the 2nd pass already. Now the baler doesn't appear to be done with this field yet because there's still several piles of grass over here. I'm wondering if he got stuck in the trees or something. We'll find out in a second. We're gonna just duck in here and start picking up the bales and then see what we see. I need to put this thing into its operating position. Awesome. Now, one change I made, and we'll show this off when we get a load of bales here, but I did update the bale dump trigger back at the harvest store so that we can now drive this trailer through with the bales loaded up on it, and it'll unload off of the trailer so that I don't have to keep doing the shenanigans where I dump them onto the ground and all that nonsense. We've finally gotten off of our lazy bottoms and opened up the Notepad++ and edited some XML files. We actually, for the bale trigger, I think I had to open that up in Giant's editor and actually modify the bale drop like trigger area, but it was a pretty quick modification. I think I added that bale trigger in the first place, so I just did it poorly on my end. I don't think it accepted bales, at least on the original version of the map that I'm playing from. Now, the balers are moving again. It looks like it was stuck on a bale, not the trees, which is probably a good thing. So I'm going to just park this semi right here for a moment. We're going to let that baler finish up this field, and then we can pick up the last few bales and get him switched over to this larger field over here. I can see the rake in the distance there just starting to come down this long side of the field over there. We're making good progress, folks. All right, it looks like that baler's on the last few feet there, picking stuff up. Probably drop one last bale off for us, which is awesome. And I got a little pile over here. Maybe we'll pick that up on the way out with the baler. Going to just grab those two bales. I can sneak one right out of the middle of the baler, which is always fascinating to me. And what we're going to do is try and clean up this mess. I have such a mess in the other fields because I didn't go around and clean those up when we were doing the baling, but that's okay. We'll always have an opportunity to pick those up when we do the next cutting of grass. I'm not yet sure if we're going to end up doing more silage out of our grass fields, or if we're going to go straight for the hay. We are starting to run a little bit lower on hay in the harvest store, but I do have more bales back in the storage shed there that we can pull out and put into the harvest store. So maybe now that I've moved our capacity up to 10 million liters in the harvest store, a very unrealistic value for sure, but going to make life a lot easier for keeping up with all of these cows. Maybe we'll just move all of that hay into the harvest store so that we know exactly how much we're dealing with. I'm going to just grab this little bit in the driveway, and then let me see here. We need to get rid of the previous course and jump over to this worker. We're going to grab this course into our temporary settings, and then we'll just jump right back into this vehicle, set him up with center, first waypoint, away we go. Should be good to go with that. It's going to take an hour to bale this field. That's actually a lot of bales. Impressive. All right, well, with the baling under control, we're going to come back up here and grab the semi and take this right on down through the harvest store and test to make sure that's working. We missed a whole strip of grass right there. It's not a very wide strip, but always irks me when we miss it. You can't even see it from this side. That's probably why I missed it. Always fun when there's some weird graphical issues here in Farm Sim. But let's get this semi brought up here and make sure that our harvest store is working after all of our modifications. I'd always hate when I make some changes and then I don't test them out thoroughly, and I talk about how cool they're going to be, and then we get into an episode and something doesn't work right. So here's hoping that we haven't messed this up. I'm going to pull straight in here. I need to go into transporting position, push Y twice. The bales have dropped onto the trailer. You can see the trailer kind of bounced up and down there a bit, and my bales are now going into the harvester as expected. If we take a look here, you can see I've now got 182 yards of grass. I suppose I could always switch this to tons. I don't remember what key that is, though. And then we've got... oh, we got quite a bit of hay. I thought it was less than this. This is just because we moved from 1 million liters to 10 million liters. This is going to keep us going for quite a while. We've got way more hay than we have grass, but like I said, there's no need to hold off on putting the hay in there. If I do it now, while we don't have a lot else going on, we can be sure to just keep that feed mixer moving later on. So I'm going to go ahead and run around here. We'll pick up some hay bales. I can't remember how many this thing holds. Yeah, and you can see here what I was talking about. We missed like little bits of grass strips here and there. Unfortunate. Let's come in here, reset the auto load, go to operating position. We're going to hop out, and how many do I have in here? I have 51. This thing will put out 48 at a time. So I'm going to spawn 48. We're going to see how many this trailer holds, because I do not remember. It holds 42. Well, that'll work perfect. We'll pick up the last of these hay bales in a second. Let's see if I can get out of here without tipping this trailer over. Got a little close to the ditch over there. Swing a little bit to the right and all the way to the left. It looks like I've got AI workers stopping left and right up here. That's the second message I've seen since we took a break to get this hay loaded up. Maybe I chose a poor time to do a side job that's not really that important, but we're doing it now, so we might as well finish what we're in the middle of. I'm going to run this right around here. I'm glad I put all these driveways in over time. It does make getting around on the farm a lot easier. Put myself into transporting mode. I'm going to drop these bales down on the trailer, and then we're going to start loading them up. Oh no, they fell off. That's my bad. At least they still got eaten up by the harvester. And there we go. All loaded up. We can look here. We've got over 1,000 cubic yards. That's good. We'll let this go now. I'm going to actually pull this trailer around just to get it out of the way, as that feed mixer is going to be moving to bring feed to the barns. We're going to start off by checking in here on our 8R. It looks like the 8R is running out of liquid fertilizer. I thought it was going to do better than this on the liquid fertilizer, so I'm going to back this up a few feet, as we always do. And we'll hop on into the pickup, the nurse trailer here, and just get this going. Luckily, this should be a pretty easy fill, at least into the tanks on the front. The one thing I love about this setup is I don't have to get out of the pickup. I can drive by, fill it up, and drive off, and it's all good to go. Now, I guess I do have to get out to start the tractor back up, but it's a lot less than going back and forth, back and forth. Let me see here. I think I'm on unloading side. I need to go to unloading side left, maybe? Nope, we'll go back to right, and I'm going to swing around here. I'm almost positive I can get an overload option when I drive up here alongside the tractor the right way. Let's find out. I might have to open the tanks. Nope, there we go. We got it. That motor on the trailer is obnoxiously loud, just like in real life. I can go ahead and shut that back down now, I suppose. And let's see if we can get this 8R moving. We can. I like it. And then while that's going, just checking in here, it does look like the slurry spreader got empty. Thankfully, we left our tanker right down here in the corner, which seems to be the closest place that I could have left it, rather than having driven it all the way back over to the other side of the field like I was tempted to do. So this will be another quick reload to get everything moving again. I love this church. I don't know why, but it's always just been one of those buildings that I've seen at a distance on the map, and I'm kind of happy to be able to work some fields here next to it. It's a quite nice looking building. We'll top off our digestate here. There we go. And I'm just going to park him right over here. I think that given that the headlands get bigger as we go around, since we're moving towards the outside, that it's likely I'm going to need to refill him some more down by the corner there next time around. And the 8R is back off to the races, so I'm going to just move this guy back off of the field. I don't think I'm going to need more liquid fertilizer in this field. I could be wrong, and if I am, we'll have regrets later, but I think for right now what I'm going to do is just run him across the road now. We're going to leave him here. I'm just going to put him right here in the grass over next to the seed tender here. Perfect. And yeah, I think we'll be good here. We might need a little bit of seed before we're finished, but we'll see how it goes. Our baler is going to town here. Lots and lots of grass bales, and the rake is doing good. I think what we need to do next, as I tab through all of our equipment here, is find the bale loading semi again, and we got to go pick up those grass bales. Because if I don't, the rake is going to start plowing over the ones that are on the headland every time it turns around, and it's either going to get stuck or it's going to drag them out into the ditch or who knows what. So we are now on bale loading duty, and we'll see how many bales we're creating on the headland pass here. I'm kind of curious to see what kind of volume we're going to get off of this field. We shouldn't... Oops. Why isn't it picking up bales? Because I didn't reset it. I was going to say we shouldn't run out of hay. We should have enough hay to tackle everything that we need to feed them until the next cutting of hay, because we did just drop a whole semi-trailer worth of hay bales off, and we're not using that much hay to keep things moving. Now, I'm a little bit concerned by the message that I just saw for the hired help. I'm not sure which worker is crashing out, so we're going to just continue to follow this down to the end of the field here and double check on these two workers. These two workers actually look good. I think that rake just tried to plow over a bale, though. I'm already at 15 bales just going down one side of the field here, essentially. So that's encouraging. We're going to get a lot of product off of the field here. And it doesn't look like these outside bales were causing too much of a problem for the rake, but I'm going to pick them up regardless. And what I'm going to do is when I get down to the end corner here, maybe I'm going to turn around and we'll come back and get the bales that are closer to the up-down rows, because I think that they're going to be the ones that are more problematic. So rather than fill up the semi going all the way around the outside, it's going to take the rake a little bit to get down here. So if I just clean up these headland bales where it's going to be turning around, that's going to be a better overall position for me. Steal some out of the baler as we go by, give us even a bigger gap, like so. And then I'm going to pick up these two just because we're down here. And what I should be able to do now is go down to the other end and do the same thing when we get back. I'm going to pick up as many of these as I can on the way down, though. But we'll run this load up to the farm. And by the time I get back, we should be able to catch up with the baler before he puts too many bales in front of the rake over here. And here we go, right on into the farm. I'm going to drop the bales off, which always messes up my camera a bit. If I get lined up well enough here, I can do 3 rows at a time. Perfect. All right, let's get back out to this field and make sure that the baler doesn't get ahead of me. to a point where it's going to cause problems. I want to keep all this grass work going because we do have about an hour worth of grass work left to do out here. A little bit less by now, probably. That rake is going to make fast work of things, though. So I'm really mostly concerned about what the baler is doing, just so it stays out of the way of our rake here. Oh, we're missing bales because I didn't reset the auto load again. You'd think after all these episodes of running these auto load trailers that I could remember to do that. But alas, it seems it's going to continue to be something that slips my mind. Much like the other end, I'm just going to spin around here. Oop, we're in the trees. And focus on the headland bales. The rake shouldn't really get over into the ones on the edge. And I'm kind of focusing on this just so that I can switch gears and go down and get whatever worker problem we're having in the other fields solved. I still haven't been down to the other side of the map. So we'll just grab a couple of bales right out of that tractor. And it looks like I've missed one more on the hill here. So I'll grab the one on the hill, and then we'll get this semi out of the way, and we'll finish picking up a full load a little bit later after we check on these other problems. We've got more than enough of bales coming off of the field here that we should, I hope, be able to fill this trailer up by the time I get back. And this is what I was worried about. We left these 3 over here, and I know this guy has to go down to the other end of the field, so let me just grab the last 3 bales here. I think this happened to me last time we did this field as well, since he drives around on that last headland pass to get to the up-down rows. Pull off to the side, and let's go find our problem worker. It looks like the 8R is still moving, so that's not the problem. And these guys are all moving. I don't know. I must have hit a hire helper button when I was tabbing around and got that weird message or something. I don't know. But, I mean, we just now ran out, which was a little bit earlier than I expected. So let's go get the slurry tanker here. I was expecting to run out on this corner, not that corner down there. So my estimation skills continue to be poor on volume of product needed for fields, but that's okay. We're in a decent enough position to get this guy going, and I think this should be the last time I have to fill this particular worker up on this field, and that means we're going to be able to get started on our planting job here soon. The last field that we need to start planting. I can't wait. There we go, all filled up. I'll just make the corner to get him out of the way, like so. And send him on his way. There we go. Nothing to it. That means this truck is ready to be sent back up to the farm and offload some more digestate. I want to keep him full, or do I? I won't be able to get the rest of the digestate out of this truck. So yeah, I think I want to keep this truck full of digestate. So we'll send him back up to the BGA here to get him filling up. If we, for some reason, need more digestate out here somewhere, I can always bring him back out, I guess. But I really don't think I will. I think we're good to go. Yeah, I'm gonna have regrets. We're gonna come up like, you know, a half a length of field short on finishing this, I bet. Either way, we've got bales to pick up, so let me get back to that. Our baler's making good progress. We're already on the longer up-down rows, so I'll just sneak down here and make sure I picked up all the bales on this little round area we've got down here. Looks like because I'd emptied it out on the way in here, it didn't leave anything in this little nook, which is great. And we just picked up all the ones on the up-down on that side, so I'm going to head down here, and we'll pick up the rest of the bales from the headlands. And that should just about top us off, I think. We'll see. We'll see if there's 21 bales over here on this side of the field. $824 vehicle running costs. I must have re-enabled worker fees at some point. Usually I turn those off on my saves. I'm not necessarily opposed to paying for workers. It just, sometimes it feels like it's too much early game, and at this stage in the game, I mean, $800 an hour, like whoop-de-doo. Not really a big dent in our profit margin, so I'll just leave them on at this point, but I'm always surprised to see them pop on. And, oh, there we go. I came up 4 bales short of a full load, so what I'm going to do is head back down here, and we'll see if we can pick up those 4 bales on our way out of the field by going where the baler's currently working. Looks like the rake is already almost halfway done with this field, which is great. And the baler is going. I don't want to mess up my rows too much, so I'm going to come down here and get the last 4 bales since I could see them so clearly. Perfect. And that's a full load of bales. Let's get this out there. And then, let me think. We've got all of our other workers going. I guess we could go get another load of hay and finish emptying all the hay out of our bale storage. That would be probably the best use of our time right now. And I know I've showed this off already for a couple of runs, but I'm just so impressed with myself getting my hay bale situation optimized here. Or I guess these are technically grass bales, so I'll just say my bale situation in general. This is very efficient, and yes, I'm still tempted to try out the loading wagons at some point again, but I feel like this is that right balance for me of realism versus not. I see much more bale work for this kind of stuff than any kind of loading work in the U.S. We're doing pretty good here. I'm trying to think, where was I going? Hay bales. Like, I'm coming back here for a reason. I just can't remember what it is. I still haven't figured out how to fix the semi yet. I really probably should have just swapped it out with a different semi at this point, but the wheels are still a little bit messed up here. Do that, and 3 whole bales, but I can't do anything because my truck is technically over the corner of this zone. Let's back it up here, see if I can solve that problem. There we go. All 3 remaining hay bales. Don't mind if I do. Let's grab those. Alrighty. And I swear the hubcaps have gotten worse for some reason. They're like way out the side of the truck now. I don't know what's going on, but whatever I did, it's gotten worse. Alright, here we go. Unloading the bales. Oops, we were going a little fast there. They slid around. Gotta be careful with that. And boom. All hay has been taken care of. I'm gonna just park this right here. We'll go back out and worry about that grass again in a minute. But first, we need to check in on our planting cycle here. Wow, we're going through that seed a little faster than I thought. Let me bring up the big map. Let's bring up the in-game big map. Where are we? There we are. We're doing good, though. There's not a lot left. Man, I'd like to get started on field 42 here, though. Let me go see how we're doing over there. Oh, that's not over there. Hay's looking good, or grass is looking good. Oh, we're going to run out as predicted. Unfortunate. Let's go get that semi again. I didn't even get a chance to fill this thing up. We just brought it straight back out here, and we've got enough digestate to top off the slurry spreader one last time. So we're just going to run this thing up into the field here. The driveway's up here around the bend. I would have tried to ditch hop this thing maybe even to fill it up faster, but these are some serious ditches on this particular field, and I feel like that just lead to it taking longer and we'd have all kinds of problems. So we're gonna do it sort of semi right here. I'm even gonna drive down the grassy headland instead of all over my field for once. There we go. And pull right on in here. There we go. I think in real life I could have pulled up on the road and then just run the hoses across the ditch. Oh, here we are. We're going in the ditch just like I didn't want to. My goodness. All right. We'll park it here. We've got one more load technically in the semi, but we won't use all of that here. And this is the last stretch of manure that we need to spread here in the spring. I guess that's not true. We could go spread all the grass fields that we've already mowed. So that'll be the next job we kick this driver off on. I do just need to do two things. I need to set up the BGA better so that it's not impossible to drive through with auto drive and refill on the output side there. And then I just need to get like 2 more of these slurry spreaders and just let them go back and refill and come back out to the field, because driving this semi back and forth is taking up too much of my time. We need to free ourselves up, especially as we head into harvest and stuff, so that we're not wasting so much time managing refills and stuff. It's been a long time coming. I think that that's what we're going to work on next episode, possibly, is just reworking how that BGA is set up. So maybe I won't keep putting any more slurry in there. We'll take a small pause and I'll let it drain out, and we'll get that all squared away in next episode. I think that's going to be a good plan, because we do have these grass fields that I can spread slurry on, but I've got a little bit of time. I can spend a few days before we get to that job, which will be good. It'll let us focus on what we've got going on here and knocking out the rest of this planting this episode. So let's see, that's all done. I can kill that off, do that, and we're gonna just send him straight on up to the BGA, because why not? And we don't have a field entrance here yet. I'm not gonna bother with that right now either. We're so lazy today. We're gonna punt all of the jobs that we need, all the annoying tasks, to next episode. We've been going for a while now. I want to just I want to get done with this stuff. I want to get to planting and all that goodness. Speaking of planting, how are we doing over here? I've got 14 bushels, a little bit less of seed left. Oh, I left my hoppers open. That's unfortunate. Well, it'll be easier to get them refilled in a minute here, because there's no way I'm going to finish this field, is there? There just is no way. So let me hop out. We're going to run across this field. This is a long hike, by the way, and get the seed tender out here, because we're going to need just a smidge more seed to finish this field off, I think. And the rain has started just now as we start to get the seed tender moving. Maybe I'll put the tarp over it. Don't need all that seed getting wet. I think we're going to keep going with the planter, though. I know things get sticky pretty fast if you start planting while it's raining out, but it's just the slightest shower here, and it looks like it's supposed to clear up again soon. So we're going to push our luck and see if we can keep this planter moving. I don't think there's any in-game penalties to planting in the rain, as far as I know. I know that if you harvest in the rain, you take a yield penalty. And I chose to come down to this end because we weren't quite empty yet as we were approaching the far end of the field, which means the planter's going to make its way back down towards me, at least to some degree, before it gets completely empty. So we'll see. I don't think it'll make it all the way down, but at least I can get into position here. Oh, it is going to make it at least close to all the way down. That planter really goes fast. I like it. This setup has worked pretty well. My only complaint is getting in and out of the tractor with the saddle tanks on this particular setup. It's a little bit finicky, but man, everything's more or less just working good. I think what we're going to do, I'm going to let it turn around, and then I'm just going to hit stop on it real quick while we're here at the end of the headland, and that'll make my job a lot easier to getting in here and filling it up. So let's see, we'll just let it go right there. Perfect. My tanks are already empty. Jump out. And I've got just a little bit of seed in that second hopper here, so we'll do that. Oops, I didn't mean to hit that button. And, oh man, what am I going to do? I'm going to do the full U-turn here. All right, and can I line my auger up the first time around? Oh, we overshot just a smidge. That's okay. We got it. And then let's go for the third hopper. Trying to keep that seed dry, but making sure we're actually emptying things out like I think we should be. Good deal. I'll let the auger start folding back up while we hop out and get the planter moving. Should be good to go. All right, last round on this field. Well, at this point, I was about to go start the 8RX off on planting, but since the 8R is almost done, I'm going to wait until he finishes this round. And what we'll do is we'll do a 2-planter course on this other field, and we'll see if we can keep things going with 2 planters. Shouldn't be a problem. It does mess up my 3 headland pass thing, but I think it's going to be better for us if I put them on a 2-device course rather than having a 1 implement course, and then just sometimes I do a 1 implement course and I'll just put the second worker on somewhere halfway through the field. But they get confused and they don't stop and pay attention to each other as well when you do that. So we'll worry about that when the time comes. Raking, this should all be fine. I don't think we're taking any penalties to raking and baling in the rain. Let me tab into my baling tractor here. I'm not getting like a message popping up that we're getting a penalty when I'm over here, and it looks like we're still dropping bales at approximately the same distribution that I was before, so I think we're good to go. As long as I'm here, though, we might as well move this thing out of the way. I don't know what I'm going to do next, so rather than fill it up or start it off on anything, like I said, I want to get the new VGA going, so I'm going to just put him off onto the grass here. I should have stopped first. Seed tender's good. 8RX, my friend. All right, well, let's go ahead and at least get the course created. We're gonna wait for this rain to stop before we actually start planting on here, but I'm gonna back up right to this driveway entrance because I like to start my courses off in approximately the same place for science. That way, if I have problems, I can adjust from the same kind of starting point every time. And we're just going to hop right in here and do a course generation. I'm going to do 2 tools, but I'm only going to, am I going to do 2 headland passes for a total of 4? Or do I just do 1? I think we're just going to do 1. I think we're going to have enough room. Let's find out. 2 tools, 1 headland pass. Nice big field. We've got some shoulders. It shouldn't be a problem. So what I'm going to do is just swing this guy around to a point where I can be lined up to start. And then when that 8R is finished in a minute, I'm going to bring that right over here and get him started as well. I like to start them off at approximately the same time so that they're staggered well and I don't run into problems. I can go ahead and let this guy unfold though. And this semi can now go back up to the farm, so let me get that going while we wait for our 8R to finish up. And there we go, 8R is all wrapped up. I should probably clean up this corner here, huh? Just so it doesn't drive me and everybody else nuts because we missed it with both the planter and the tillage tool. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this planter unfold real quick. We'll take out this little bit of, I don't even know what that is, sunflowers? I think it was sunflowers in this field. No, it was canola. That's what it was. All right. Lower that down. Here we go. Making a complete mess of our headlands. Close our tank up. And we'll fix the corner as long as I'm here too. All right. That's looking better. So I just refilled the seeds, so I'm not planning on dealing with that just yet. But as long as I'm here, I'm going to refill the liquid fertilizer. We're running a bit low, and I think it makes sense to just top that off as long as we're sitting right here. I still wish I could refill the planter itself, but we can at least top off the tanks. There we go, 14% left in here. We're definitely going to need more before we're done with the field, but I'm going to just put him out of the way here. And what I do need to do is hop into this tractor, and oh my goodness, the rain finally stopped. We're going to copy this course. I'm going to start him on the first waypoint, and then we're going to paste this course, put him on the right side, and we're going to get him going right now on the other half. We're going to be dangerous and start unfolding as we drive. I just hopped out. Hopefully that doesn't mess things up. I think it's still working. We're going to start at the first waypoint on the right. Go. All right. Where's he going? He's not done lowering his stuff down. Okay. It's making me nervous. These workers, you know, sometimes they get a mind of their own. And awesome. So it should take about an hour if you include some downtime for having to refill both of these at least once, if not twice. But either way, we're on to planting our last field. Look at that. It took a lot longer than I'd hoped, but progress. Woo! I think we're going to wrap up today's episode here. I'm going to let these two work on getting this field planted. I might go haul some bales off camera here, and we'll check back in next time for a finally completion of our spring activities here. And we're going to do a little bit of work around the farm, see if we can optimize that BGA, get some more manure spreading going, all kinds of good stuff coming. Stay tuned as well. We're going to start a new series up here on probably Medicine Creek. Tahitian failed miserably. Map is erroring, deleting my saves, all kinds of problems. We're going to give Medicine Creek a try and see how that goes. That's a map that I played twice in FS19 back in my time-lapse days, and so I'm excited to give it a thorough playthrough in a more normal style. So stay tuned. That's all for today. Kedrick out.